Hi guys, and welcome to another Tech Tutor Thursday video. My name is Caitlin, and I am the Tech Tutor at the Carnegie Public Library as a part of the Guiding Ohio online program by the State Library of Ohio and the Institute of Museum and Library Services. Today's topic is using ebooks and audiobooks, so I'm going to be taking you guys on a guided tour of how to use Libby and OverDrive. First of all, I want to mention some of the benefits of digital books as well as what you will need to use them for free with your library card. First of all, ebooks and audiobooks are lighter than physical books and easier to carry around, and you can have up to 10 books at a time without having to carry them home and find space for them. You can customize the size and type of font, the brightness, and you can speed up the audiobook in the app to customize your reading experience depending on the situation. You don't have to worry about fines, which we don't have those anyway, but you also don't have to worry about losing the item because titles will return themselves automatically when they're due. They are convenient. You can get immediate access to something to read without having to make a trip out, which is perfect right now. If you like audiobooks, you can download audiobooks straight to your device and listen without a CD player, which is also pretty convenient. Finally, you can download your items and listen or read offline. So overall, I think we can all agree that most of us love physical books, but digital books can be so simple and convenient, and it is definitely worth giving them a try. Before we can begin, we are going to need a few things. You will need a device to access Libby and OverDrive on, whether that be an iPhone, Android, Windows, Kindle, tablet, etc. You will need a library card, and you'll have to have your library card number on you. Lastly, you will need your PIN for your library account, which is most likely going to be the last 4 digits of the phone number you have on file with us. Side note, if you don't have a library card, you could go to our website at cplwcho.org, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and click Apply for an e-card. This way, you can get a library card to access our electronic resources while we're closed. Just keep in mind that once we reopen, you will need to have that electronic resource card switched to a regular one to be able to check out physical books. Another note about your PIN: if you don't know it or it isn't working, give us a call or send me an email and we can get it reset for you. Okay, so now that you know why digital books are awesome and you have your library card number and PIN, it is time to download the apps to your device to get started. I am going to switch to my guided tour in a second, but this slide shows what the logos look like for both Libby and OverDrive when you are searching in your app store. I'm going to show you guys how to use both Libby and OverDrive today, but I will begin by saying that I think Libby is a bit easier to use, especially if you are a beginner to digital books. With Libby, you can read directly in the app, and there are just less steps involved. With OverDrive, there are a few more steps to get to actually reading because you need to either send your book selection to a Kindle device or download the book to your device to be able to read. Like I said, we are going to walk through both, and I'm going to start with the Libby app. So to begin, the Libby app is available for Apple, Android, Windows, as well as on your web browser by going to libbyapp.com. No matter which device you use Libby on, it will walk you through the steps to get started. So you have got your library card number, your PIN, and you have downloaded the Libby app to your device. Now let's get started by logging in. The app will prompt you with questions to guide you through the signing in process. So first, it is asking us if we have a library card, and we do, so we will click yes. So now it is prompting us to search for our library. You could also click yes, guess my library, and it will detect your location to determine which library to select. I am going to go ahead and select I'll search for a library to show you the process. So I am going to type Carnegie Public Library into the search box, and then I'm going to wait. It does not seem to be detecting my location, so I'm going to go ahead and scroll down until I find the Ohio Digital Library and click on that. So now the app is asking where I use my library card, and that would be the Carnegie Public Library here in Washington Courthouse. So I am going to click where it says Carnegie Public Library. So now I'm going to type in my library card number and then click Next. So now it wants my PIN, so I'm going to type that in and click Sign In. All right, so now we are signed in and it is showing me my library card, so I'm going to click next. So this is the home page for Libby. You will notice at the bottom of the page you have two links, one reading library and the other reading shelf. We are currently on the library page. In the top left-hand corner of the page, we can search for titles using the search bar. And on the top right-hand corner of the page is the Libby icon, and you can click on this to see your library cards, to add a library, and then also to get help and support. Because we are already on the library page, I will go ahead and point out some things here. We already pointed out the search bar, so if there's something you want to read and you already know the title, you can go ahead and do a search for it. But if you don't know what you want to read and you just want to browse a bit, you can start by seeing what is featured. So I'm going to scroll down to show you guys what is featured at the moment. So we have a featured title here at the top, and then we have titles curated for National Library Week. If we scroll down more, we have some links for what's new, what is popular, and then what is available. If we scroll down even more, we have a feature for Harry Potter. We have magazines. And then here at the bottom, we have different subjects and themes. So if you know you want to read a thriller, but you don't know what, you can just go ahead and click here, and it'll show you a bunch of different thriller titles. So now we are going to go ahead and scroll back up to the top. So back up at the top of the library page, we have two links, one reading Preferences and the other reading Explore. So if we go ahead and click the Preferences link, we can tell Libby what we want to see. So if we prefer books or audiobooks, or if we prefer either, we can go ahead and tell it there. We can narrow it down to available now titles, so we don't see anything that we have to wait for. We could narrow it down by audience. So say you want like a young adult book, you can do that there, or you can just click all. And you can also narrow it down by language. I'm not going to set any now, but if you do, you will just click Apply Preferences once you're done. If we click on the Explore link, we can see a bunch of different subject guides, as well as another place for links for titles that are new, popular, and available. So I am going to click on Available Titles. And then I'm going to demonstrate borrowing a title. So it looks like Harry Potter is available, so I'm going to click Borrow and then Borrow. So now I am ready to read Harry Potter, so I am going to click on Go to Shelf. On the shelf page, we can view our loans, our holds, and our tags. When we click on loans, we have the option to open the book or manage the loan. So we are going to click Open Audiobook, and we can immediately start listening. If we click this little clock icon at the top of the page, we can control the speed at which the audiobook plays. The moon icon lets us tell the audiobook to quit playing after a set amount of time. And then here we have a bookmark, so we can create a bookmark in our book. We go ahead and click on this menu icon. We can view the different chapters in the book. We can go back and we can look at the bookmarks that we have created. And then we can also view these tips and secrets, which will tell you different things that are helpful when listening to your audiobook. When we are all done listening, we can just click back to return to our shelf. So next we are going to open an ebook so I can demonstrate changing the reading settings that I mentioned earlier. So we're just going to click Read With. So now we have the option to send our ebook to a Kindle app or device, or we can read right here in the Libby app. So I'm going to click Libby. With the audiobooks, you just need to click the play button to get started, but with ebooks, you will just click to turn the page like so. If we click on the page again, we can access our settings again. So this first icon here changes the way we view the book. So you can make it so you can see one page at a time, like so, or 2 pages at a time, like this. You can click on the magnifying glass to search within the book. You can click the bookmark icon to leave a bookmark in the book. And then you can click on this menu icon for more settings. So here we have another method to search within the book. We can view the table of contents and the different chapters. We can view the bookmarks we've left. And then we can also see tips and secrets, which are helpful when you're reading your ebook. But we can also take a look at reading settings, and this is where we can customize our reading experience. So you can drag this bar here to change the size of the text. So we can make it pretty big. If we scroll down a little bit, we can change the lighting of the ebook. So here we have it set on bright, we can set it to sepia, we can set it to dark. We can also customize the book's design, so it's currently set to the publisher's default, but there's a bunch of different options here that you can also choose. So when we are all done, we're just going to click Done, we're going to click Back, and now we are back to our shelf. So while we are in our shelf looking at our loans, I will demonstrate managing loans. So we're just going to click here on Manage Loan. It'll tell us when it is due, and it gives us the option to return early. If the book can be renewed, you would be able to do so here. This one cannot be renewed. I'm going to mention here that one of the most convenient things about digital books is that they return automatically, so you don't need to worry about it, but it is helpful if you finish a book early to return it so others can access it. So now we are back at our shelf. We have already looked at our loans, and so now let's take a look at our holds. So I do not have anything on hold at the moment, so let's demonstrate placing a hold. I am going to click on the library link, and then I'm going to scroll down until I can find here what's popular. So let's scroll down here, and we are going to place a hold on Where the Crawdads Sing. So I'm going to click Place Hold, and then I'm going to click Place Hold again. So now we have a few options. We can click Read Sample, we can go ahead and suspend the hold, we can keep browsing, or we can go back to our shelf. So I'm going to click Go to Shelf. So now we are back in the hold section of our shelf, and here we can manage our hold. So I'm going to click there. We can see that we placed the hold today, and then we have the option to suspend the hold or cancel the hold. So I'm going to demonstrate suspending the hold. So we'll click there, and then we can change this, but it has it set to suspend for 7 days. So we'll go back to 7, and then we are going to click Update Hold. So when you suspend a hold, it keeps your place in line, and after the amount of days you set, it will go back to being on your hold shelf active. So now I'm going to go back to my shelf, and I'm going to click Manage Hold again. And I'm going to click Suspended Hold. And then if I put this back, I can make it active again. So I'm just going to click Update. Then I'm going to go back to my shelf, click Manage Hold again, and then I'm going to go ahead and cancel it. So now I have canceled my hold, and I'm going to go back to my shelf, and I am back to having nothing on hold. So I'm going to go back one more time. So the last thing I'm going to demonstrate is using tags in Libby. So if you're familiar with Goodreads at all, you know that you can create different shelves to organize books. Tags on Libby are similar as it allows you to organize books within your shelf. So I am going to click on Tags, and there are 3 pre-made tags. Essentially, if you wanted to use this, you could organize books into ones you like, ones you don't like, etc. I don't have anything tagged, but I will demonstrate how to do so. So I am going to click on Library, and we are back to the What's Popular page. So let's say I like Where the Crawdads Sing. I can tag it into my like shelf. So I am going to click on Tag, and then the thumbs up icon, and we're done. If I want to go back to my shelf and into my tags, I can see that title now. So that wraps up my demonstration of Libby. Next, we are going to move on to OverDrive. If you have any additional questions about Libby, as always, you can email me or leave a comment below. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to use OverDrive. Much of using OverDrive is very similar to Libby. The biggest difference is the way in which you read your books, but logging in, browsing titles, etc. is all similar. OverDrive can be accessed on Apple, Windows, Google, and web browsers just like Libby. So here I am on overdrive.com, and I'm going to click Sign In. Now I am going to click Sign In using Library Card. And first it is having me search for my library, so I'm going to type in Carnegie Public Library. I'm going to click Go. So it did not detect my location, so I'm going to browse until I find the Ohio Digital Library. So here we are. I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on this drop-down list and find my library again. There it is. So now I'm going to type in my library card number and my PIN. So now I have typed in my library card number and my PIN, and I'm going to click Sign In. So once you are logged in, this is typically what the page will look like. Here we can see my library is set to the Ohio Digital Library, so I can browse and borrow anything owned by the Ohio Digital Library, just like in Libby. If I want to start browsing, I will just click Add a Title. And then it takes us to the library page, which is identical to Libby's. And we even have a promotion for the Libby app here. So as you can see, we can search for titles here. And we have the same featured title from before, the National Library Week titles. We have Harry Potter at Home, magazines, and then we get into those different subjects that we can browse. But I am going to come back up to the top and click on Collections, and then I'm going to click on Available Now. So now I am going to borrow Harry Potter again, so I'm going to click Borrow, Borrow. And this is where we get to the part where I mentioned that OverDrive just has a few more steps involved than Libby. So I do not have a Kindle, but if I did, I could click Read Now with Kindle, and it would have you sign into your Amazon account. You would be able to access your title on your Kindle to read. I am going to read here by clicking Download. And now it is going to give me the option to keep browsing or go to my bookshelf, and I'm going to go to my bookshelf. If I click on the title, it opens up for me to read. And if I click on the page again, I can see the same settings that are offered in Libby. You can click on the page to turn it. And then in the top right-hand corner, we can create a bookmark. If we click on the page again, we can access our different menu items. So first, we have contents. So here is the table of contents, and you can see different chapters. We can go back, click again. Here we can see the details of the book, including the publisher. We go back one more time. And then we can click on bookmarks to access the different bookmarks we've left in the book. If we come down here to the bottom, we have the option to go back to the previous chapter. We can scroll through the book pages faster. And then we also can go to the next chapter or the reading settings. So if we click on settings, we can change the font. So I'm going to set it back to default. We can change the font size. I'm going to set it to large. It was currently on largest. We can change the line spacing, so I'm going to make it medium. We can even change the margins, set those to small. Set those to small. We can change the color scheme, so let's make it nighttime. And then we can also make it day. And then there's a few more settings here, but these are the most important. So now I'm going to click back, going to click back again, and then we are back to our shelf. Now I'm going to quickly demonstrate how to use audiobooks with OverDrive. So here I have the audiobook version of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone checked out and downloaded. So I'm going to click on it to open it. So here we have the play button in the middle of the cover, so we can click play or pause. It plays automatically when you click on it. To the right, we have the first 3 chapters that we can click on. Under the cover, we have more options. We can go back to the previous chapter. We can rewind 15 seconds, fast forward 15 seconds, and then move to the next chapter. Below that, we can set a timer for the audiobook to play for a certain amount of time and then turn off. Here we can control the speed at which the audiobook is read. And then we can add a bookmark. Click OK. And then if we come up here to the top, we can click bookmarks, and there we can access those bookmarks that we have set. Now I am going to go back and I'm going to click add a title again so that we can view the library again. So I just wanted to come back here to demonstrate how to view your account settings. So we have already looked at the different ways that we can browse titles here on the left-hand side of the navigation bar. But if we look to the right-hand side, we have the option to search for titles. We can click on the bell icon to view notifications. But then if we come over here to the book icon, we can view our loans, our holds, wish list items, rated titles. We can make title recommendations, view our loan history, and then we can also click on settings where we can change our lending periods and content preferences. But I really just want to highlight our loans and holds. So if we come back up to loans, we can download our titles, like so. I'm going to keep browsing. Or we can return our items early, like so. Next, we can view our holds. And we can have up to 15 holds at a time on our shelf. I currently do not have any holds, so let's demonstrate setting one. I'm going to go back to collections, and then under eBooks, I'm going to go to most popular. And then let's set another hold for Where the Crawdancing. So I'm going to click place a hold. And then here I can see where I am in line for this book. And then I can also see other titles that are similar and available right now. But I'm just going to exit out of that. I'm going to come back to my bookshelf. I'm going to click on holds. And so there we can see my hold. I can edit my email to be notified when the item becomes available for me. I can suspend the hold like we did in Libby, or I can go ahead and remove it. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to click remove hold. And then we are all done. I am going to wrap up this demonstration by going back to the home page. As with Libby, if you have any additional questions, send me an email using my email address as shown on the screen, message us on Facebook or give us a call, or leave a comment below. I hope you found this demonstration helpful and happy reading.